Here again with you. My name is Roz with Done Right Bookkeeping Services. And what I do is share on a weekly basis just different things that small business owners need to know in order to keep their books accurate and also help them automate some of the tasks that they need, as well as offer my services if they feel as though they want to pass those tasks, the bookkeeping task, over to someone else so they can focus on the larger picture of their business and growing it and such. So thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to jump right into it. We're going to be talking about debits and credits. Now, this is a topic that growing up, you know, we knew that a debit was something that was coming out of our account, right? You had a checking account, savings account. You drew some money out, that was a debit. You added some money in, that's a credit. But this is what I want to show you today, because there's a difference with debits and credits when you're running a business and the reports that's generated from the business. So let's get into this. I'm going to share my screen. I have actually a presentation for you. So let's get into that. All right. So you should be able to see this, and we're going to be talking about debits and credits. So forget everything you learned about debits and credits, at least for your small business, and making sure that everything balances out correctly. Okay. So let's see. My disclaimer: we are not financial advisors or tax experts. I always encourage people to seek out a tax expert, all right, a financial advisor, if you need more specific information. My responsibilities is bookkeeping, making sure all the transactions are recorded accurately, so those reports are generated as accurately as possible, and to help the business owners, you know, take that load off of their plate, the bookkeeping process. So how to differentiate debits and credits. So just always remember that entry must balance. Okay, so that's double entry bookkeeping. You might hear double entry accounting, but double entry bookkeeping. Either one of those terms, it's just basically making sure the debits and credits are, you know, balancing out on your report. So also remember this equation. You're going to constantly see me sharing this equation or this formula. It's assets equals liabilities plus equity, because everything in your business is going to fall somewhere within this formula. Okay, so it's very important to understand that, because definitely if you're deciding to do your books on your own as a small business owner, and I totally understand that, right? Starting out, you know, you may not have a lot of funds to be able to hire a bookkeeper, so you want to do it yourself. So these videos will help you navigate through the bookkeeping process, and I try to make it as easy or as simple as possible to help you navigate through it. So basically, the chart that you see on your screen right now, the left side, account type, just understand the assets, liabilities, income, and expense. All right. Every debit and credit is going to fall somewhere, either an increase or a decrease within those categories or account types. Okay. So I actually have some examples for you. So, you know, just stay tuned for me to give you a couple of examples. So debits, some key points that I want you to remember. Debits are always on the left side of the chart that I just shared with you. And as a gift to you, I actually just created, I mean, you could take a screenshot of that chart from the previous slide, or you can click the link in the description area. And I just actually created the chart in a simple document, so you can actually grab that, because you may want to print that out for yourself as you're going through the bookkeeping process on a daily, weekly, monthly, annual basis, whenever you actually do your books, you may want to just have that document in front of you so you'll understand, because it's very important to make sure that everything is accurate. Okay. So depending on account type, debit may, and I have this highlighted in red, may add to or subtract from an account. And you've seen on the previous slide that sometimes it increases, sometimes it decreases, depending on what the transaction is. Debits must equal credits. Okay, they must equal, because we have a double entry accounting system here. So you want to make sure your debits is equal to your credits. So whatever you do on one side, you got to be doing somewhere else within your accounting or your bookkeeping. Now let's talk about credits. So some key points. Credits are always on the right side. So you got a left side with debits, you got a right side with credits, right? So depending on account type, credit may add to or subtract from an account. And you can see that clearly on the chart from the previous slides, right? Credits must equal debits because we have that double entry accounting method. So let's look at some examples, right? Because I love to have visuals, love to see some examples, because yeah, I'm hearing this, but okay, let's put this into practice. So remember the formula, all right? Because I actually did a previous video showing the chart of accounts, which is a breakdown on how you allocate or how you categorize each transaction within your business. If it's advertising, marketing, if it's a truck purchase, if it's a credit card, if it's whatever it is, there is an account type or categorization that you must follow or you should follow in order to make sure everything is accurate when you run reports. So you'll know what's your revenue, what's your expenses, and what's your income, all those different things. So let's take, for example, a truck, a $7,000 truck. Maybe you're a trucking company, okay? And you're purchasing a truck, $7,000. I know that's, you could get a good deal. I don't know if it's this good a deal, but let's just say, for example, so by using cash. So these are key things that we have to take into account when we're actually, allocating the different transactions to the different account types, or whether it's a debit or a credit. Okay. So you're going to be buying the truck with cash. So 7,000 cash. So this adds to the company as an asset, because we're using an example that this example is for a trucking company. So they need trucks. So same chart. So remember, the debits are on the left, credits are on the right. So if we're using cash, right? We're using cash. We know that, the cash is allocated or categorized as an asset within our cash flow, right? Our cash on hand. So that means that that's going to decrease on the credit side. Okay. And you can see that on the right-hand side. And then we know that there's a debits, and that's going to increase on the debit side. That's 7,000. So with that being said, that's actually going to balance out. That's that double entry accounting method or bookkeeping method that we have to follow. So we have to know where we actually need to place that particular transaction, which accounts is that going to impact. Okay. So let's look at another example. Let's say we have some inventory. Maybe you sell, they say widgets, right? Maybe you sell t-shirts or, I just brought a water hose. Let's say you sell water hoses. I have a garden out, so I needed a new hose. So let's say, I know it's not going to cost this much, $1,500, but let's just say I have a bunch of different inventory that's coming in. I got a bunch of water hoses. I'm a company that sell a lot of water hoses. So that's one of my inventory, right? So $1,500 worth of inventory. So I'm going to use this using credit. So my credit card, I'm going to be using my business credit card. I'm going to be using. So the inventory adds to the company as an inventory asset, okay? Because I'm going to have that inventory stocked to be able to resell. So I may be buying, obviously I'm buying it wholesale from my supplier or my vendor, and I'm going to sell it retail. So which accounts does this impact? It's also my assets and my liabilities, right? So the assets is going to increase on the debit side, okay? And the liabilities, because it's a credit card, business credit card that I'm using, is going to increase my liabilities on my credit side. All right. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. So it's very important, because as I continue to create these videos, what I'm doing is following a pattern, and you'll kind of catch on to this if you haven't already. Basically, I've started out with, what is bookkeeping? Then I went into basically chart of accounts, and I showed you examples on inside of QuickBooks, because that's the software that I use, because it's very user friendly. That's the software that I use. So I shared an example from a sample company going into the actual QuickBooks account, a sample account, and showing how to add to a chart of accounts, how to edit a chart of accounts, and how to inactivate one of the accounts within the chart of accounts. So I always like to leave you with a quote, right? And this is by Dr. Dennis Kimbrell. Dennis was my first name of one of my brothers who passed away. So many times, belief enables a person to accomplish what others consider impossible. So many times, belief, right? That's a big word, all right? A big, meaningful word. Enables a person to accomplish what others consider impossible. So I want you to be encouraged on today, all right? Just continue to believe in what you're venturing out to do, your small business, whatever it is. Definitely continue to believe what you're striving for. So if you're in need of a bookkeeper, all right, because that's what I do. So if you're ready to automate your financial tasks and increase profits, that's what I, as a bookkeeper, help you do. So you can connect with me by going to donerightbookkeeping.com, or you can actually schedule a consultation with me. I'm actually going to stop sharing, and I'm going to, let's see, go back here. And I'm actually going to share with you. This is a calendar link here where you can schedule a 15-minute consultation, so I can learn more about your business and how I can actually assist you in automating those financial tasks and increasing your profits. So if you're ready to get started, go ahead and click the link below. And remember, I also have that link in the description area where it actually has the actual debit and credit chart that you can actually just freely download for yourself, have it out in front of you as you're doing your books. Okay. Thank you guys so much. God bless. And I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye. Oh, if you're viewing from YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, leave a question, whatever it may be. I so appreciate that. If you're viewing from Facebook, if you're viewing from LinkedIn, go ahead and follow us. Go ahead and, like the video. I would definitely appreciate that. That actually helps us out a whole lot. And it doesn't cost you anything. So So thank you so much. God bless. And I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.